Okay. let's see. Let's see what we got here. All right. This is just a test. I wanted to see something real quick. Watch this. Watch this. First of all, should have done this in honor of a brief moment of technical difficulties. Okay. Yes, it works. It definitely works. Now, the reason it has like the old thumbnail, I'm not entirely sure. YouTube do be weird like that sometimes. I really hate the update that they put on this. I was like, oh, do a quick little surprise live stream. No, nobody'll bat an eye, and it's got the freaking previous streams like thumbnail on it. I don't know why that happened. That's interesting. It's a very fascinating thing. Um, you know what? I mostly wanted to show you the technical difficulty thing brought to you by N3 from our conversation during our last like a group live stream. Yeah, I wanted to just test that out and maybe just work on a little bit of ancient Fwonnel maybe, but I gotta go to bed relatively soon, so probably not for too long. But since I wanted to show off the technical difficulty screen, I'm gonna put it on again real quick to see if I could change that thumbnail. Hold tight, hold tight. Good times, good times. There you go. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, hypothetically have changed that thumb. Love that. Love that. Yeah, no, just a little casual false advertising to kick off the evening. Yeah. No, I just love that. Love that. Certified hotspot moment. How's the live chat be going? Yeah, no, I definitely do live in Spain. Correct. Um, yes. So, hello. Um, 17,000 subscribers. Oh, got 'em. Also, my hit second channel AZ Plant Reviews has reached 1,000 subscribers, which is a pretty dang cool. Because I mean, I've like casually mentioned it a couple times, but like the vast majority of that audience is just like completely independent of this. So kind of a little epic moment right there. I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, how have I been making AZ plant review videos from the Basque Country? No, it's been my mom recording videos of like some plants that I hadn't made videos about yet, and then she sent them to me, and then I voice over them to talk about them. But yeah, good times, good times. So yeah, again, not gonna go super long on this moment right here, but I do see Eternal. Yeah, no, yeah, saw the whole thumbnail thing. Good times. Is that papyrus font from Bunder Tale? Question mark, exclamation point two, etc., etc., etc. Perhaps, perhaps. Hi Zoe. Hi everyone who is currently here. Would you look at that? Okay, okay. Casual 25 people here to watch my ramblings. Yeah, no, this was not planned. I just kind of got home, wanted to make sure that I got the technical difficulties thing on here, and felt like potentially going over what I've done on ancient Fwonnel so far. Yes. So first of all, first of all, ancient Fwonnel right here, right? Or more specifically, late Fwonnel. Oh boy, right? So if you remember my language family trees video where these beautiful, beautiful little diagrams came from, you'll see over here around where Autojune comes into existence, there's also a branch labeled as Fwun right here, right? And this Fwun branch kind of goes over here and then it kind of dots, trails off, and it's shown kind of half dying off, half blending into what would eventually go on to become Autojun Frufi Kraker Zeshin, yeah, and some various other ones. Now, this is a little bit of artistic interpretation right here, as this isn't like exactly what happened per se, but basically, if you are caught up on like the overall history of things, which if you're not, War of the Pearl Me Now is coming soon. Um, Essentially, the Fwannel language, the ancient Fwannel language, existed in the southern and eastern portion of the Fwannel Peninsula, and it kind of existed in a very long-term Sprachbund with Proto Autojune, Ancient Autojune, Middle Autojune, and by the time Autojune was Middle Autojune, it had pretty much won out, and Fwannel as an independent language essentially died off. And I never really put a specific year onto that until now, and I am declaring that Ancient Fwannel kind of died out by around 930 AR, right? This iteration that I'm making is supposed to take place somewhere between 700 and 720 AR, right? Because the rural Fwannels continued to speak a variety of it that continued to exist and evolve naturally after the 720 AR conquest, right? When Ruxalusha conquered it, essentially. Or no, I mean Autojanza conquered it. Sorry, the Ruxalusha part happens later. Yeah, and then it kind of exists, and it evolves quicker, but in a more rural dialectal form until it really dies off in the 930s AR. So what I have here is essentially, if you look at the dictionary, we have the various roots all pinned with their Proto-Cern Cahelan IDs, and I have the root word in 700 AR and the root word in 900 AR, where a lot of things are the same, but there have been a few changes, a little vowel shift, and a couple consonant shifts. But what is going into this dictionary is mostly the 700 AR form, because that was the last time when it was like a relatively significant language on the peninsular stage, right? Yeah, so essentially that's what I'm working on right now. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. uh, Let's see. Marcy was here 2025. Got him. The Sprockbund was here. Yeah, Peninsular. I don't know. I don't know. I'm tired. Yeah. And so essentially, they had a lot of mutual influence on each other. The sounds were relatively similar, but you can look at the classic late Fwonnel phonology, has some similarities and a lot of differences, but this is actually quite similar to the phonology of Middle Autojune or late ancient Autojune. Because again, over the next like 1,300 years or so, the sounds shifted quite a bit. Yeah, so you'll see here we have e, a, o, and u as our vowels. We have p, b, t, t, k, k, m, n, f, fa, sa, sha, shla, ga, ha, wa, ra, la, ya. There you go. Those are the sounds that go into it. A couple hundred years later, vowels shift a little bit, and the consonants don't necessarily shift too much, except ya ceases to be phonemic and sh ceases to be phonemic, and things get a little more palatal. And that also pretty much exactly mirrors the pattern of what happened during that stage of the evolution of Middle Autojune, except the vowels were different by that point. Yep. And if you look over here, we've got the letters in the modern Autojune's Jotarang system, because if you recall from the Autojune showcase and many other discussions about the history of the Fwannel Peninsula that I've done in the past, the Jotarang or eloquent system it was the original Fwannel writing system, and it eventually came to be used in Autojune over time. And so right here I have at least my current estimate. I haven't made the actual official glyphs yet, but I have the eloquent system as it was used during the time when Fwannel was actually spoken, and the modern Jotarang equivalents. And these all are the Fwannel phonology. I mean, these are all the Autojune, modern Autojune phonology. These are all the late ancient Fwannel phonemes that, and also a few clusters that went into the whole the original Jotarang before it had to evolve. Um, I do not remember what this is there for. But yeah, if we go to some grammar tables, you can see a little bit of what I've been working on so far. Um, let's see, what other comments do we have here? Oh, this is live. Correct. This is live. When is when is the autogen uvular and velar pharyngeal transcription for disordered speech? You know, I haven't really thought too much about that, but that that would actually be rather entertaining potentially someday. Let's see. Lol, I thought Enda sent me a video. Oh, and then yeah, after all, accessibility is important, right? Yeah. Um, honestly, there because there is like a whole, the canonically there is a very well developed, relatively well developed field of linguistics, like in the Dog Days universe. Again, they don't know that like Cern Cahelan is one single language family, stuff like that, but that's like pretty much scientifically impossible to prove, the same way that like, you know, there's no way where we'd be able to find a common ancestor earlier than like Proto-Indo-European or something, because that's how far back in the timeline you have to go to get to the Proto-Cern Cahelan origin, right? But they do have a pretty good field of linguistics. So hypothetically, you know, maybe I'll make like a Fwannel based like phonetic alphabet, and perhaps there could also be an XIPA like equivalent that includes like various sound symbols for disordered speech and things like that. Um, yeah, that would be rather aesthetic, wouldn't it? In many natlangs, individual authors like Shakespeare can change the course of language. Has Autojune such well-known individuals in its history? You know, that is a good question. um, well, actually, I haven't thought too much about that. I might have to yoink that concept for something someday, cause that is a good point. Um, yeah, I really haven't thought about that much. Right, there has to have been, right, because there's a lot of like popular media. They essentially like uh they had essentially like audio and video transmissible recordings for like hundreds of years by the point of the 2060s AR, right? Like this was stuff that they had ever since like some of the more advanced rediscovery technologies reached the Fwonnel Peninsula. The Prince Eye had it first, but there has been like transmissible electric communication for a long time, and so you'd think that there could even potentially be more such cases of just memes essentially coining new words all the time and stuff like that. But I haven't really thought too specifically about like say individuals or individual pieces of media having done that. But perhaps I should. Perhaps I should. You'll notice that's not something that's talked about too much in the War of the Pearl video. Whenever that does end up coming out. Yeah, good times, good times. But you'll see, you'll see. Dog. Agama Shuya. How would how would Agma Schwa fit into Autojune's phonotactics? I've actually done this in a video before. One of my videos. Oh God, which video was it? It was a very long time ago. It was an extremely long time ago. Um, let's see. It was because I'm pretty sure it's just Akma Swa or something like that. But I had a video where I was in the forest, and it was there we go, this one, in the forest, narrated, yeah, there, yeah, Akma Swa, yep, I was correct, there you go. Etchijawao Akma Swa, yeah, hey everybody, nga here essentially. So there you go, Akma Swa, Akma Swa, very cool, very epic. Anyway, yeah, so you could see there's a lot of direct Proto Cern influences. Obviously, this is more ancient, so you could see a slightly higher amount of connections to it, but still really, really deeply descended. Because again, if you look at the oh boy, look at all that evolution. Look at all that juicy evolution, which actually gets pretty messy at times, and then I clean it up whenever I want to actually use one of the root words, because with so many thousands of them, I can't really do all of that. But in this language, the stressed syllable in a word has a lot of emphasis on things, right? Like this example here, right? Namufol is book, right? Namufol suddenly becomes a neutral copula, meaning it is a book. Then namufol becomes it is literary, or as I describe it, the descriptive copula. And then anamufol with an additional a epenthesized onto the beginning, becoming it is written, meaning the perfect copula, or more specifically, it is booked. It is turned into a book. It has made the thing that the noun is. Very, very self-referential. Then, of course, we have these transitive forms here, where if you add in baf being the third person singular inanimate, uh, in the active, namufol baf means it becomes a book. Namufol baf means the book is it, which is just a very neutral medium middle voice right here. The passive voice, namufol baf, it has been litericized. It has been made or been put into the condition of a book. Then anamufol baf, again with that a epenthesized onto it. I shouldn't say epenthesized. It's just added on. It has written the active perfective, right? And all of that parallels with its copular form, stuff like that, right? So is stuff like that. Additionally, the stress determines the overall realis versus irrealis of a verb, and whether it's transitive, intransitive, or non-finite, right? And there can indeed be both an indicative and a subjunctive, or a realis and irrealis non-finite verb form, which is kind of cursed. Um, but yeah, yeah. so this Agma Schwa has used the velar nasal classical hits and changed Sir Gahelen. Yeah, one could say that. One could say that. Hey Shay Sauce, how's it going? Agma Schwa, yeah. Have you ever listened to this one Conlang song called Kafta Fata? If so, do you like it? I don't think I have. Who made it? Who made Kafta Fata, or whatever it's pronounced as? Yeah, let me know. And Connor Ernest says, I designed you as a sprunky. I should I should I be concerned or honored? I designed you as a what is a sprunky? I I mean, I suppose I should be honored. I suppose I should be honored. Thank you. Unless this is like some deep corner of the internet that I have not yet reached. Let's see. So Knee Slapper says Lamplight. She's a conlanger on YouTube. Oh no. Okay. I've never heard of Lamplight. I'm gonna have to check this out. I will. Not right now, but I will. And then Gabriel Wysong says, speaking of Conlang songs, you should listen to the stuff by John Quijada. I've I've heard the fact that John Quijada has made Ithkuil music, but I have not ever listened to any of it. But I should. I should. Maybe it'll get me in the mood to make more songs in my languages, because it's been a while since I've released a song written in Autojune or in another conlang. But I have some ideas, and I actually have some backing tracks that I've uh, put together and made my own arrangements of a couple songs that I wanted to put into a couple languages. But originally I wanted to do it, I think, partially in Prince and partially in Nashin, but I didn't have Prince done yet at the time. But by the time I had finished Prince, I had moved on to a bunch of other projects. But I could always get back to that, do that sometime. When I get back to Arizona, that is. I don't have any of my technology with me out here. So, yeah, if you notice that, like, I used to make a new song for every video. If you notice why that hasn't happened recently, that's why. It's because I don't have the technology with me to make any new songs. But when new songs do come out, they'll be there. They'll be there. I do plan on doing more someday. Yeah, yeah, great opportunity to submit that to Neurovision 2025. Yes, depending on when Neurovision 2025 happens. Um, I, uh, I will definitely like to do that, right? I I didn't know what the full scope of Ngaro Vision could be, but now that I know that it's pretty much free reign, yeah, once I finish that song that's in Prince and in Noshin, then that will be on there. But yeah, if it's in November, I've got time. If it's in November, I've definitely got time. Um, oh, Kat says the Ithkuil songs are pretty good. I like. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check it out. Again, I've heard of it. I just haven't listened to it. Sup Taraga. Hello, my Toa, Deneth D. Um, what's your opinion on Biblaridian's recent video about the Sarok? Haven't watched it yet. It's been in my recommended for like 2 days. I gotta get to it. I gotta get to it. I was actually kind of fried for a few days. I actually had to go to the hospital for it. I had like an allergy attack that gave me like a combo attack of like a sinus infection, an ear infection, and just like something horrific happened to my eyes along the way too. So like for a few days my vision was like blurry. I couldn't read anything. I couldn't like see barely. And so that video came out while I was just like I can't see anything right now. I probably I noticed that it was the Biblaridian world art style, and I was like, oh, look at that. Maybe later. I'll watch it soon though. I assume it is rather good. Hi, Seabuck. Hello, hello. What time is it? Yeah. So I'll probably go for like I don't know, 15 more minutes. Just chill around. Just wanted to give you a sneak peek of the ancient Fwonnel content. This will eventually become a showcase, but other other videos are coming before that time happens. But yeah, so if you look at the verbs with word stress, right? We have the root of the verb to have is just all, and the default morpheme that gets put on to a verb to make it distinguished as a verb is ni, right? So to make have an intransitive indicative, let me zoom in a little bit actually. Right? To make it an intransitive indicative, it's oni with the emphasis on the first syllable. To make it subjunctive, it's oni. Transitive and indicative is igoni. Transitive and subjunctive is igoni. Right? Now, in this case right here, you could see that it is given this e prefix that has in its underlying form a ga, velar, voiced velar fricative in there, which which turns one that has a root that begins with a vowel into igoni, and then igoni, and then for the non-finite forms we take on an additional suffix here, end it with an n, and then the stress goes back to the beginning, but it changes its ending from a ni to a na here for it to become the non-finite subjunctive, and that descends from Proto-Cerngahilan in a very convoluted way that I don't feel like explaining right now. But you could see a couple other examples based on how many syllables the root word has, right? So in this case over here, turn, the root for turn is kufut, right? So kufuti, kufuti, ikufuti, ikufuti. Then we have the non-finite kufutin, and then the non-finite subjunctive kufutan, right? Then we have a 3-syllable root word for tear, right? Nofusoni, nofusoni, inofusoni, inofusoni, nofusonin, nofusonan. And then we have a 4-syllable root word, natushai, for imagine. So natushani, 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 natushanin, and natushanan. So I think that's rather uh, delicious. There's some stuff in the grammar. I don't know if I'll have time to get into that before I go, but like the there's a lot of stuff related to the stress patterns of words that need to match in a particular way to be grammatical. So that becomes quite important as it goes on. Now, there's a few of the morphological, like allomorph rules for the pattern. And yes, auxiliary verbs are the only ones that get truly conjugated for their person. Uh, Now, this, I needed to have a direct line of connection to Autojune. And so some of these are the direct ancestors or co-evolutionaries, we could say, because of how long this Sprachbund persisted. Co-evolutionaries with the Autojune pro word, which is in essence an auxiliary verb. So for these ones, we have present tense ones, past tense ones, and future tense ones, and then they have their what is that? Their moods or whatever. Their or is that aspect? I don't know. I'm really tired right now. We have gnomic, we have inchoative, and continuous, which all are expressed in their full conjugated forms here in green here. The ones that are in orange are typically only used in poetic and literary situations. And these golden ones are often used despite that, but for just various like phrases, right? So like this future one right here, this future to do, this filinima, filinama right there is basically a phrase that they would use to say like, oh, may it be done, may horror will it essentially. But yeah, let's see. Let's look a little bit at some other people's stuff. Other than root etymology, how is Portuguese a Rome lag? The grammar is so different. Or is it a sort of Creole with Portuguese as the lexical base? That is pretty much it. Yeah, I with Portuguese, we wanted some of the grammar to be as if as if a goose made it, so we couldn't have it be like the exact same grammar as Portuguese. So we took a lot of creative liberties with the way the grammar worked, to essentially make the root words all based on Portuguese, but the grammar is like has some Portuguese in it, but also just a lot of just what we think of as generic goose. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, that was not because you disagreed with Logan in the verbless video. I didn't disagree with him. I pretty much I pretty much agreed with him. I just put things into some different wording essentially. Well, to be fair, we'd started working on Eternal and I had started working on that video before Logan's video even came out, and then Logan's video came out, and we were like, okay, well, looks like we got to double the length of this. It's and so we did, but overall, the conclusion I think is pretty similar. Yeah. Anyway, it's always good. A good video. Thank you, I assume. Curious if the dog world has any creation myths. And since the Sarg vid was mentioned, do the dog people believe in any mythical beasts? Yes, they do. So there's a bunch of different cultures throughout the world. Obviously, like the main kind of focus of my history is on the Fwonnel Peninsula and stuff like that. But there's a ton of different cultures throughout the Western continent. And in the overall Fwonnel mythology, Hororch is the central god. Hororch meaning entropy, chaos, erosion, is essentially. And essentially, their overall mythology has multiple beings that can be like immortal with omnipotent power. Well, not omnipotent, but with like superhuman power. But Hororch is the one above all, essentially, as the force of chaos and entropy itself. Horok is the one who decides whether any given intelligent species is essentially worth perpetuating a system on the earth. Because there's been so much evidence of the humans, and then they find evidence of, like, the fossils of dinosaurs and things even before that, right? And so they assume that they are on the third or fourth, or some believe one of infinite series of intelligent dominant species on the planet that have attempted to create a self-sustaining system but have failed, and Horor takes revenge on them for failing to create a self-sustaining system and flattens the earth, essentially, like wipes out all life, wipes out all geographic terrain. It causes some kind of calamity and then starts it again. That's basically the overarching backbone of the modern Bez religion, right? Now, they didn't necessarily have the technology of humans before 1 AR, right? After the rediscovery, because, a long time had passed since humans went away, and none of the easily accessible technology remained, or so they thought, except for in various underground spaces where things were able to be preserved. And the human technology was much more advanced than what, like, our current human technology is. Some of these things, if kept in a preserved environment, were indeed able to survive in working order for a really, really long time. And that's what first the CERN people discovered in 1 AR. And so that kind of changed a lot of, like, the philosophical framework of a lot of the religions in the world after that technology started to be reverse engineered or collected and used and stuff like that. But they already knew that the humans existed before the rediscovery of usable technology. It was very obvious. There are fossils. There's fossils and ruins and megalithic structure ruins remaining in various places. And so it was pretty obvious to them that there was a prior existing, like, dominant species and others before that, or at least so they assumed. Obviously dinosaurs were like thousands of species, but, like, they assumed that some of those dinosaurs were a previous dominant species, and so on and so forth, right? And that those that get turned into fossils are essentially those that Horuk declared failed and ended them, right? So they already had that whole philosophical framework before they were able to actually start reverse engineering human technology. A lot of the philosophies changed and evolved after that technology was reverse engineered, though. So yeah, there's that. um, yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. But yeah, will any of that be discussed in the War of the Pearl video? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah. Anyway, so if we look at any other of this, I don't have too much time left, but you could see, like, some of the ways that, say, adjectives work in here, right? Oh yeah, it's ergative absolutive as well. I should probably mention that. It's ergative absolutive in a slightly different way than how like say Proto-Cerncahelan worked, because it had a bunch of other cases and stuff too, and also, like, the way that ergative and absolutive was categorized was much different in Proto-Cerncahelan than this. The way that the ergative and absolutive works in ancient Fwonnel, I kind of just yanked from Basque because I'm in the Basque country and I'm surrounded by that particular iteration of ergative absolutive on a daily basis. So yeah, thanks Euskara for that. It's slightly different than how ergative absolutive worked in in phosphon, proto-Cerncahelan. So watch out for that. It's basically how it works in Basque. Yeah, and then the way that the adjectives works is that the stress on the words, both the noun and its associated adjective, the stress has to be in the same location, or else things have to start being synthesized on these words, right? So new could be uprad or uprad in this case, because the stress on house is on the first syllable. So shubifal uprad is new house. But if we have the house with with PC on it. What was PC again? I forgot what some of these abbreviations stood for. It's been a little while since I looked at this document. What was PC again? Oh yeah, perfect copular. There you go. Okay, so if it's the perfect copula, right, placed onto house right here, in the absolutive with new placed on it, then suddenly this becomes a sentence right here. Ushubifal upratata, right? The stress going on at the last syllable for each of them. It is made a new house. Right? So, very fun. Also, the various adpositions and things that are put on here. Some have different case results than others, and pretty much all of these are direct parallels or predecessors to the ones that you'll end up seeing in modern AutoJune. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Shesa says, do they think of humans as only humans as the species, or do they do the same thing as us with dinosaurs, calling a group of different species with a common name? Well, if it gives you any context, essentially, one of the main theories, and you can see this in chapter 2 of the comic, that the name for wolves, per se, like the wolves are Hibaiksino, and Hibaiksin means the ones that don't use knees, like the thing on your leg, right? um and that's essentially because one of the dominant kind of scientific theory that's just kind of the overall social consensus even during the time period of the comic is that knees are one of the primary deciders of like a creature's intelligence, and not that the other creatures don't have knees, because they do, but that the direction of the knees matters, because the pups, the dog people, they have human like knees, where the knees are on the front and the legs bend in a way that allows for good efficient bipedalism, right? Whereas the wolves still have legs where what appear to be their knees. I know it's technically not, like evolutionarily, if you look at it on the scale, their knees are on the back still. And so I feel like they would probably assume that any like great ape like creature with a relatively similar skull, any hominid, and any hominid species, any uh, Pithecus, any of those, and any of the great apes essentially would probably be considered to be amongst the class of humans as long as their knee bones faced forward, essentially. So yeah, there's that. There's that. There's the little lore drop for you. Um, but yeah, so I think unless yeah, C is money. I think yeah, that's a human. Yeah, exactly. All right. It is now 11. I think my little test live stream was certainly a success. If you want me to do more of these little casual solo live streams, or and also more group live streams, there's definitely going to be more group live streams. I just haven't had time yet. That's why I'm doing such a quick casual thing on here. Also, my name is pronounced with uh, lol. Uh, okay. Sorry about that. Jesus, Jesus, not Jesus, not any of that. Not only because Anwar can't pronounce. Okay, oh, that's good. And Denith, great apes still exist in the future? No, no, they do not. No, I'm talking fossils here. I'm talking fossils. The great apes do not exist in this future world. Not at all. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, let me know if you want me to do this another time. I'm probably going to end this and get going to bed because it is 11 p.m. I've had a long day. I'm still kind of recovering from my cursed experience earlier this week. So, yeah, if my voice sounds a little different, that's also why. But yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, not so great after all. Yeah, you call yourself a great ape? try, try, try surviving in the Dog Days universe, loser. Stinky, stupid, stinky. But yeah, no, I'd like to do this again. Again, just very casual, maybe with like a slight bit more announcement to perhaps get, I don't know, more people watching, but I don't really care. So we'll see. We'll see about that. For now, I think I'm going to say GG to this. So enjoy the brand new technical difficulty screen one more time, courtesy of N3, and I will I'll see y'all next time. Good stuff is coming. Goodbye. Nguz out. Enjoy the technical issues screen one more time as I turn off the live stream. Maybe I'll make a new like goodbye thing. I used to have custom screens for like stream is starting soon, technical difficulties, I'll be right back, and stream is ending. Thanks for watching. I'll put all that stuff back together too. I also gotta figure out how to freaking set the name of a stream before the stream starts now. That's so annoying. Damn it, YouTube. Why did you do that? It was so easy before. I'll figure it out. Okay, anyway, goodbye. Goodbye. Stream ending. Or I should say, unstreaming. Got him. Unstreaming.